My name is Drew Waldron, and I am on with the CEO of Pizza Girl Incorporated, Caroline D'Amore. Caroline, how are you?
I am so good, and I'm so happy to be chatting with you.
Where does the moniker Pizza Girl actually come from? It's on your social media, it's your nickname, it's the name of your company. What is the origin of Pizza Girl?
So I grew up in a pizza family. My dad had D'Amore's Pizza growing up in Los Angeles. That was a very well-known mom and pop shop, but for us, it was only the pop shop. I just grew up having to get out there and roll up my sleeves and work my Pizza Girl magic when I was a kid. I had to wear a shirt that said Pizza Kid. I had to go to the movie sets and cater, and I was on the pizza truck, and I was at all these events, and I essentially was the pizza girl.
And like I said, it's not only your nickname, it's your entire brand. And throughout this journey of building Pizza Girl to what it is today, what have been some of the most important lessons that you've learned about building and supporting your own brand?
Well, I have to say, my brand really didn't come together until I was super authentic. It really didn't come together until I was just super truthful about who I am. It wasn't easy for me to become the pizza girl and to put the name pizza girl on everything, like you said. I went through a major phase of rebelling against this pizza girl identity. I wanted to be anything but. I really wish that I honed in on who I was and loved who I was a lot sooner. And I hope to carry that message out to a lot of people because I literally tried to do everything I could to not be the pizza girl, to fit in with the in crowd, to, do what I thought I was meant to do because this person's doing it or because that person's doing it. Like I said, I was the jack of all trades and the master of none. I had a really good work ethic that was instilled in me from starting to work as a child. I was a DJ. I was an actress. I was I did it all. I had a swimwear line, and all of it was mildly successful because of my work ethic. However, the moment I accepted who I really was, which is the pizza girl, my whole life came together. Honestly, I got to just be me and like free myself from all the bullshit. From all the fake stuff. And it was so like freeing to just be like, you know what? Yes, I am the pizza girl. And you might find me at your local supermarket doing demos and giving out samples because that's what I have to do to keep my product on the shelves at this early stage of my company's growth. And like, it was a very humbling experience to start from zero, less than zero, and build my own identity based around who I really am, and just be super proud of who I am. It all came together.
Caroline, so much of your brand is propelled by social media, and you talk about authenticity so much, and I can't think of a less authentic place than social media. So, you personally, how do you ensure that your brand stays authentic in a very inauthentic atmosphere?
Well, have you looked at my Instagram? It's the most unedited, unthought out Instagram page probably out there, especially for a business owner. I think what's interesting is my Instagram following went a bit viral because I was doing it authentically, because I was just upset looking like crap with wet hair, telling people how I really feel. And there was zero editing involved in any of it for the longest time. And I think that people really gravitated towards, oh, well, this is refreshing. This person is genuinely just being herself and cool with it. She's looking crazy in the morning and just being honest. And I think people are really starting to gravitate towards authenticity. I can see it in my Instagram following growth. I can see it in my business growth. People want the truth these days. So even on something as, like you said, as inauthentic as a social media platform can be, that's based on the person behind it, I think. I see certain platforms and I'm like, somebody's telling them that they have to do it that way. You know what I mean? Like they're trying so hard to get these likes and clicks that they're following almost like a chat GPT, how to go viral. And you can sniff that out from a mile away.
Definitely. Very, very artificial. I agree 100%. Aside from your entrepreneurial background, you also speak about the importance of being vocal against hatred and supporting human decency. What personal experiences made this such a cornerstone of your public speaking work?
So many people have asked me to dive into why I am the way that I am, as vocal as I am. And I do believe that it stems from early childhood trauma. Now that I've really had to do the work and look into it, my mother passed away when I was 5, and I was lied to about how she died because of the stigma attached to the AIDS virus. My dad, didn't want us to be the AIDS kids at school and to be ostracized. And I thought, I was like, we could be ostracized for a really sad, awful disease that is hurting so many people that just took my mommy away from me. It was just out of this world, unfathomable. And when I finally found out, I found out in the worst way. And I just felt just shocked by the world and by hatred. It was a very eye-opening experience to realize people would judge you and not know anything about you and not really try to get to know the actual person, the story, the family. And I started walking in the AIDS walks in West Hollywood with my sisters, and we wore these shirts that had my mom's face on it. And in these walks, we would walk alongside a big majority of the gay community. And I started seeing these people on the sidelines, and they had these signs that were so atrocious. It upset me so deeply. And I even remember seeing a child one time holding up a sign saying like, you're going to go to hell, basically, for being an out gay person. And it was just I was just really affected by it all. And I just started kind of speaking up and standing up for what I believed in. And I didn't care what friends I lost and what people thought about me. And it's interesting, it kind of got people, I notice every time you speak up, people get scared of you and they like retreat because they don't know what's going to happen to you. And then they see like you're strong and more people come out and they back you, and then they kind of like follow suit. And I think there's a lot to be said about people who are willing to put it all on the line for what they believe is right. And I just hope to find more people out there that are willing to do that too, and to inspire them and to show them that, it has only been positive for me. It has only been so rewarding.
I love that you turned such a terrible childhood experience with grief into so much positivity. More recently, you have been working with other children to spread these messages that we've been talking about. How have you seen your message impact those children that you work with?
I think people are really scared right now. There's a lot of divisiveness in America. There's a lot of hate being spewed at, people from different backgrounds. And I think learning how to deal and live with the world that we are in today is really important, because it's here, it's happening. And how can we have a happy life? What I've been doing is looking at my own survival skills, basically, and finding ways to deliver that message to the youth that are really in need right now. So especially kids who are on social media, that's something we never had to deal with. I'm so grateful that I didn't have to deal with being on social media, but now our kids and our teenagers are. So giving them these tools to survive the hate that they come across on social media is really important. And it cannot be overlooked just because we didn't deal with it as kids. So I think that when you focus your energy on anything, that thing grows, whether it's, positive, negative, that thing grows. So when I look at my Instagram page, or if you go to an event and there are people who are spewing hate, our brains are wired. When there's 10 positive messages, we only look at the one really cruel message and we just fixate on it, and our heart starts pounding and our hands start sweating and we get so emotional and upset. And now we're giving all of our energy and our time to that negative comment, when there's all these positive comments over here being like, hey, what about me? And what I realized is when you give your love, we only have so much bandwidth. We only have so much time in each day. And when you give your time to the positive comments or people or work situations, those things are going to grow and grow and grow. And we don't have time for the hate. And I've just noticed it. I mean, in my own journey alone, like there's obviously, when you grow a platform, you're going to have a larger majority of hate on your page, no matter who you are, no matter where you're from, no matter what you stand for. There have been days when I have been like super upset and hurt by a comment, but then I go, you know what? Look at all these beautiful comments. Look at these beautiful people. I'm going to give them all my time and energy. And when I do, it's like, oh my gosh, now we're working on a project together. We found some common ground. We're building this cool, outreach program, or just so many things grow out of giving all of your attention to the love. And I really want that message to continue to grow, and ignore the negativity. Don't let it get to you. As long as you are a good person and you are doing your best, everything's going to work out. Just do not give your attention to the hate. it really matters who you surround yourself with.
We always end these interviews by asking for your advice to young people, but I feel like since all the different phases of development you went through as a young person were so important to your story, I think I would ask you if you could go back in time and give the younger version of yourself one piece of advice, what would it be?
Love who you are, exactly who you are, and do not be embarrassed about anything. Not the space in your teeth, not the funky eyebrow, not the my chin does this weird thing and I'm like, I love it, like now, but like when I was a kid and a teenager, I wish I could just tell myself, you're amazing exactly how you are. Love yourself now.
Look at that. It all wraps back to authenticity.
Yes, it's so true.
I love that. Well, that is going to conclude our conversation with Caroline Demore. Caroline, thank you again for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.